I think we just, we came out and I think it was obvious that we weren't going to go away. What we did last game, we didn't want it to seem like, oh, they can do it for one game and fight for one game. We came out and did the things that we did last game at an even higher level. Multiple guys stepped up, and we had just a great group effort. I think everybody was locked in to what we need to do as a team, and we turned it up tonight. From last game.
How about the defense tonight, Damian?
I think that was the biggest thing that worked in our favor was the way we defended. Game 2, we talked about how well we defended. We didn't make shots. We did the same thing in Game 3 at home, and we did make shots. We got a win. And tonight we played probably our best defensive game. Not just our presence on the ball, how we helped each other, how physical we were, how consistent we were. I think it was probably one of our most consistent defensive games.
Dame, how has the series changed now?
I mean, it changes a lot. More so for them, as far as what they'll have to do. Your best player goes down. The guy that makes your team go, it's unfortunate, for one of the better players in the league to, go through injury like that. First of all, you don't wish that on anybody. It's a part of the game, and they still have a really good team. It's not like they got guys that can't play. They still got a good team. But for us, our mindset has to be nothing changes. We got to have the same approach defensively, and we got to continue to trust each other offensively and try to just continue to overwhelm them that way.
How long did it take you to realize that he wasn't coming back, and how did you find out?
I noticed that he came out the game earlier than usual. And the game was guys diving on the floor, block shots, going the other way, missed shots. It was a junky game. Both teams wanted it bad. So at first I figured, maybe he was a little winded, a little tired, and they was going to try to put him back in for a stretch in the fourth quarter. And when I saw that he wasn't out there for a long time, I noticed it, but I didn't think much of it. And then I forget who it was. Somebody said, "Man, I think CP's out for the game." And after the game, I heard that he hurt his hand, and that's just unfortunate. I don't wish that on anybody.
What about Chief?
Chief was huge, and we know that he's capable of nights like tonight. When you have as many open shots as he's been given in this series, we've encouraged him to continue to shoot the ball. We want him to shoot it. We need him to shoot it, and tonight he came up big for us, not just making the shots, but his weak side defense, contesting shots and changing them. His defense on the perimeter, his whole attitude, just sticking with it, being consistent, low maintenance. You happy for a guy like that when he has a performance like tonight, and he deserves it.
What do you mean by low maintenance?
I say it all the time. I remember the best example I can give you is our game earlier this season at Miami. He had 16 points in the first half. In the second half, he didn't get one shot attempt, and we didn't win the game, and he didn't. It was like he just didn't care. You know what I mean? He was like, we didn't win the game, but I don't know too many guys that'd be like 16 in the first half, hot, and then not say anything, and same attitude. He's a great teammate. He's a great guy to have on your team, and when you have a guy like that, you get even more excited and happy for him when he goes out in a big situation like tonight and has that type of game.
Damian, as a team with Chris Paul being out, do you have to guard against being overconfident or thinking things might come a little easier now, just from a mental standpoint?
I think usually you would. I was watching the Rockets game a couple of days ago, and I think the Rockets was winning the game, and Steph went out and they ended up losing by like 25. So that. You got to respect good teams. The Clippers are a good team, and we don't. Once again, who are we to be overconfident about anything? We've had to scratch and claw and fight, and just to get to where we are now, and we got to continue to be who we are.